right, guys, this is another Mailbag episode. We have a second one. Who thought that we would be allowed to unleash two of these
Definitely not
monstrosities?
Mathilda May.
So we threw out a bunch of different questions out there for the Mailbag. Didn't get a ton of responses, but we got a decent amount. So we want to go through them. But also, we just wanted to kind of shoot the shit because it's a couple days after Christmas, and none of us have really talked as much in the Facebook chats because I think we've been tied up with family biz. So this is going to be our way of finding out what cool shit everyone got for.
Yeah, I haven't told you guys anything, have I?
Yeah, I know two things that Adam got, and possibly three if that leather butt really is a leather butt.
You bring my mom back to America.
But
That's flesh-like latex, actually.
but let's go through. We got two emails that I want to read real quick. So the first one that we got is from a man named Chris. It says, "Hello, gentlemen of the Horror Movie Podcast. My name is Chris from Kansas City. I love the podcast. Thanks to all of you for making it and giving me something to listen to while I'm at work. I work in retail, so no explanation needed on how much of a horror this time of the year is for me during the holidays. Long days and little sleep. The films we at home break out this time of year in the horror genre are, of course, Gremlins, but we also break out the original Black Christmas with Margaret Kidder drinking the night away, and who can pass up a Garbage Day in Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
Garbage Day?
So did you guys have any horror flicks that you guys had to pop in at some point during your Christmas, or do you guys stick with the traditionals?
No, I hate all the traditionals. They're all terrible. The Charlie Brown one's fucking awful. The one with the gay elf who's a dentist and stuff, I fucking hate that one too. I can't, I didn't even like those when I was little. When I was little, I was like, oh god, just give me that thing that bounces. What is that thing called? The abominable snow beast. What is that thing?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh, it's a bumble. A bumble.
Okay.
You remember Bumble's bounce, right? I know
Weebles don't fall down, but
but that's not a Canadian thing. It's the fucking with the Island of Misfit Toys and shit.
Is that thing's name Bumble?
I
never watched Rudolph. When I talked about traditionals, I was like Home Alone, It's a Wonderful Life, and The Muppets Family Christmas, and possibly Their Christmas Carol.
Listen. There is one quote unquote traditional movie that we need to discuss right now. Gremlins.
The best thing about Gremlins is the theme music.
I thought that we were going to wait for me to whore myself out. Hey guys,
I was going to give you a nice segue.
Did you know that I did a metal cover of the Gremlins theme?
Say what?
No way. Where can we find this metal cover?
On YouTube. Also on the Horror Movie Night webpage or Facebook page, I will post it.
Yeah, and SoundCloud.
I did put it on SoundCloud, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I totally forgot. But I've been meaning to do that cover for 3 years. I've been wanting to do it. I wanted to do it when I still had Ichabod Crane. And we never got around to doing it. I had it written for the longest time. Well, I had most of it written, but not arranged. And had some time, and I'm like, you know what? I really want to do this. I wanted to actually do an Ichabod Crane version and a surfy Survivor Girl version. So maybe next year I'll do the Survivor Girl version.
So, everyone talks about the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies, and they mention Gremlins a lot when they're talking about horror film Christmas movies. But there's actually one that I always forget about until literally 2 days before Christmas, and it's one of my favorite Christmas movies is Scrooged with Bill Murray. That movie fucking terrified me as a kid. That movie's got so much unnecessary gore for a retelling of the Christmas Carol.
There's a lot of people's faces falling off and shit in that movie.
There's an eyeball floating in a martini glass. He rips a dude's arm off and falls out of a building. And it's probably the creepiest ghost of Christmases yet to come out there. It's just this giant hulking cloak that has just a skeleton underneath it with little midget bodies screaming for help. It's a fucking weird movie, but I love it. And it's got Bobcat and Robert Goulet and Buster Poindexter. Where can you go wrong with that movie?
Have you guys seen To All a Good Night from 1980?
No.
Nope.
It is awful. Don't watch it. I watched it on YouTube on Christmas Eve, and it would because I had to go into work early, and so #spoiler. I watched it. I watched it in fast forward on in my morning at work. But yeah, it's real bad. It's like the Killer Santa, but man, it's real low budget, and the acting is pretty bad. So yeah, I think that we can forget that one when we think about like quality Christmas movies. I almost said Halloween, but yeah, you don't watch it. But Matt, last year, well, I guess both of you guys, because we were podcasting together last year also. Did we talk about elves?
No, we keep that's always the film that we consider doing as our Christmas episode. I did buy a bootleg of it, and man, is that a bad movie.
It is really bad. It's not only like poorly shot and poorly acted,
but they've only got one puppet elf that's mouth doesn't move that they just keep using over and over again.
Yeah, but like beyond all the shittiness of it, it's really offensive and like disturbing, and it makes me feel really uncomfortable.
Well,
just the whole concept of that story.
Well, here's the flip side of this. Here's the other thing that's insane about Elves. Elves is one of those movies when the PG-13 rating just came out, so they didn't really know what constituted a PG-13 movie. Elves is PG-13. That has a topless woman getting electrocuted in it. Like, that movie should not be PG-13 by any stretch of the imagination.
Yep.
So I have this tradition every Christmas now called Feliz Navidad, where after all the family shit is done, a bunch of people come over and we just watch 80s Christmas specials and eat tacos. And then at midnight, we all go down into the basement, we light a fire, and we watch like a really long Christmas special from our childhood or from childhoods past. So like last year we sat through the Star Wars holiday special, and never again with that. But this year we watched probably the best Christmas special ever, the Mystery Science Theater 3000 Santa Claus episode for the 1959 Spanish-speaking film, where Santa Claus fights a devil throughout the entire film in Mexico City. And that was a really delightful way to end the holiday.
Weird.
Is that the Santa Claus that We Hate Movies just recently did?
No, they did the 80s Santa Claus film, which I have not seen yet. But let's move on to the second email that we got. We got another mail, a letter from Tyler, and this might be my favorite letter we've gotten in a long time. It says, first off, thank you for making my 3-hour road trips tolerable and my computer work a lot easier to get through. I found your podcast a few months ago while looking for some good horror discussion from regular people like myself. My question for the next mailbag is, how did horror movie night get started? What brought the cast together, and how did you get to where you are now? Also, how does a fellow lover of B films get involved in the discussions and the group? I love this podcast. I've got a few bad movie suggestions I'd like to throw your way, and nothing would make me happier than to hear you tear apart some of my favorites, like Evil Ed, Video Violence, The Granny.
Whoa! Don't tell all the movies, because we're only gonna pick one, and then people will be mad at us when we don't pick the one they wanted us to pick.
Fair enough. I can't wait for the next podcast, keeping me company on a 3-hour drive back after the holidays. P.S. Need a movie for your weird-ass movie night? Check out 2005's Iowa. Made in my small town, and it made us all look like a bunch of meth-loving idiots, and has some of the worst lines you'll ever hear in a film. When you join me in hell, bring me my dick. It's like The Room, but when we watch it, we all feel shame and take extra drinks when a meth addict gets his fingers cut off at the bowling alley that we've all been to before. So thank you for your letter, Tyler. I know that one of the movies in this list, I think it was Adam, or was it Adam or Scott that was like, yeah, nope, I've seen it, I can attest, we're doing that one.
Wait, I said it.
Okay.
Are we saying the name out loud on
I'm not going to say the name out loud if we're going to do it.
Because we really have to do that pick. And it's like, Adam, I know Adam's going to hate it. I'm actually going to be pretty nostalgic for it, although it probably doesn't hold up. and I don't know what you're gonna feel like, man.
Okay, but to answer your question, so he asked three questions in one. So it was, how did we get started? What brought the podcast together? And how did we get where we are now? Well, we're still nowhere.
Yeah, what are you talking about, buddy?
Yeah, we've been podcasting together for like 3 years.
It started. I guess I'm the best person for the origin of the podcast. Was 3 or 4 years ago on our horror. People wanted to start a horror movie club, and I offered to help run it. And I got my buddy Miguel involved, and we did this podcast for a really long time with the Reddit Horror Club. And then Miguel wasn't able to commit to it anymore, and I'd become really good friends with Scott from him being on the show every once in a while and just talking on Facebook. So I asked Scott to fill in for Miguel when Miguel officially left. And it was just the two of us for a really long time until we did an episode on a piece of garbage called Taxidermia. And we brought Adam along with us because he had picked that piece of garbage. And
forcing someone, just a heads up, if you think that you're going to make friends by making people watch Taxidermia, it's the
this is a one in a million.
This is very, and the only reason this worked, like, I was ready to hate Adam in every way from watching that movie. And then the very first thing he said when I asked him how could he like this movie was saying, "I never said I liked this movie. I just wanted to make you watch it." And I was like, "Yeah, this guy's a genius. This guy's awesome." And
we've been blowing him since.
So we did the show, the Reddit Horror Club podcast for almost a year together, and then I've been working with Geekscape most of the time that Geekscape's been around, doing the St. Mort show, and they were looking for more podcasts, and I sent a couple episodes of the Reddit Horror Club to Jonathan at Geekscape, and he's a big fan of what we do, and asked us to do our own show for the Geekscape network, so we created Horror Movie Night. So while this show has only been, maybe 25, 26 episodes, there's a whole archive of unlistenable Reddit Horror Club episodes.
Yeah, there's like a 50 episode backlog of just shit. Pure awful audio where we like echo the whole episode and stuff.
So we definitely tightened stuff up, but I've still never met. Neither one of us has ever met Adam.
We're not entirely sure he's real.
Yeah, he might.
You ever seen that movie, Her?
I did finally meet Scott over the spring. We do want to try to. I think the goal is that at least once a year, if not more, if we could afford it, but at least once a year, try to find an excuse to all get together in one place, either just to hang out and record a bunch of episodes face to face, or if we can tie it in with some type of convention, we'd always love to do that. So if anybody has any connections with conventions, and it's near any of us, Canada, Ohio, or Philadelphia. We're all of Canada and all of Ohio, and only Philadelphia.
As you said that, you knew you fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Man, 85% of our population is in like 1 square kilometer of this place. So don't even worry about it.
But yeah, so we're always looking for stuff like that. I know there's a bunch of good horror festivals and conventions in this area, so I'm going to start really harassing some people and try to get us to do a couple panels at a convention, maybe. So
listen, if Tony Todd is going to be at any of these, maybe let's bow out, because I think I said some stuff we might not be very happy.
But and to answer your final question, which is a good question, joining the discussion on our Facebook page, we post the episodes every single time that it comes out. Feel free to comment in there and let us know, whatever you think about our episode, what you think about the movie. We'll absolutely respond to what you're posting in that chat. Our buddy Don actually takes the time to make a list of everything that's been referenced in every episode.
Every episode. I don't know. He must have no life, because sometimes it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
he's just floating out there on the sea. He's got no one to keep him company. He's just racking guns all day. What is it? He's got all the...
But thank you for your letter, Tyler. I look forward to seeing you commenting in the comments. I hope you enjoy, being mentioned in a mailbag episode. So let's get down to this real quick. What did you get? Did you guys get anything good for I almost said for Halloween, for Christmas?
Adam?
Yeah, all right. So I got my Phantom of the Paradise shirts, right?
Amazing.
Yeah, so there's the one that I posted on the Facebook page, which obviously is Winston's face, which is fucking awesome. And then there's another one which is just the Death Record logo, which is a little harder for... I mean, nobody has known what the fucking shirts are so far. Anyways, I don't think anybody's ever going to come up and be like, oh, fucking sweet, man. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I don't know. Canada's the one place where it was a hit, so...
Yeah, actually, if I went out west, I could probably wander around Winnipeg and they'd fucking understand it. But and then I got the Army of Darkness role playing game book, which I'm an idiot, and I was like, sweet, I'll just pick this up, and like next week I'll be able to DM a game of this. Guess what? I'm bad at math. I have no organizational skills. I have a shit memory that fails me constantly. I've been reading through this book and I'm like, God, I didn't think DMing was like a super fucking easy thing to do, but this is a lot of work, man. This is a lot of work.
So here's what I think you should do. Like, let's say that we're going to get together in like April or May, since that's usually when convention season begins. You should write us a game and we should record ourselves playing a game of the Army of Darkness RPG game as a bonus episode of Horror Movie Night.
Here's the thing: I have never once played Dungeons and Dragons, so that could be amazing.
So I'm just throwing that out there as a potential bonus episode. Us playing an RPG.
It's easy for you. You just get to play it, and I have so much fucking homework and paperwork to do But I've got a couple months to do it for you guys. Yeah. I have 5 days to get one ready for the one that I already agreed that I'd set up. But yeah. I got that. I got a copy of Famous Monsters of Filmland. That's all about Ash versus the Evil Dead, which is series finale. It's coming up next week.
And that blew my mind because I didn't know that was a magazine that was still being published.
Yeah, 100%. I still see it in bookstores and stuff all the time. You know what? Every convenience store around here, they stopped carrying Rue Morgue. They stopped carrying Horror Hound. They don't have any of that. I can buy 17 different versions of voluptuous or BBW porn, but I can't buy a fucking a horror magazine. Come on now, come on. I guess we know where the money is. Yeah. This is a podcast of a chubby chick porn.
I've been trying for that for years.
Hey, you know where you can find a lot of that? Allinternal.com.
I was going to say Fat Chicks and Party Hats. But...
I forgot about that. Oh, nice.
Oh, my God.
All right, so Scott, how about you?
All right, so I have... two things. Well, they only have to be they can only be horror related. Well, the first one.
I have nothing horror related, but I have a lot of stuff 90s related.
Okay, well, I'm gonna mention the fact that Megan is awesome and got me a piece of original Stephen Bissett art. Stephen Bissett is the guy who did all the pencils for Alan Moore's Swamp Thing run.
Oh, but you hate Alan Moore's Swamp Thing.
Are you serious?
I'm fucking with you.
Okay, God, I was about to say I hate you so much. No, it's awesome. It's really cool. It's a great piece. It's this line drawing it's like a marker line drawing, but it's Stephen Bissett. It's awesome. She got it framed in this really cool frame, and I'm gonna find a good place for it. So there's that. And she got me the rest of the toys, the rest of the Swamp Thing toys from the 80s, based on the comic book. I'm sorry, the cartoon. And the cartoon's crap, but the toys are fun. So I now own almost all of the Swamp Thing toys, which is I only had one Swamp Thing toy as a kid, so that's pretty sweet. And the one horror related thing I got this year was Megan found me the original motion picture soundtrack on vinyl of Little Shop of Horrors. It's awesome. It's so cool to have.
Great.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
So,
was it a new copy? Like, no, that wouldn't be in print. What the fuck am I talking about?
No, it's not in print. It's like whatever from the 80s or whenever the last time they.
Was it in good shape?
Yeah, we listened to it today when we were taking the tree down, and it was perfect. Like, nice. Perfect.
That's great. Okay. My gifts seem lame by comparison. So, let me see. So, I mostly got a lot of 90s nostalgia thrown my way, not a ton of horror stuff. I did get 2 Stephen King books, but I don't think either one of them is really horror-based.
Which books?
I got On Writing, which I've always wanted to read because I hear it's probably his best book.
Prepare for him to talk about baseball for the first 150 pages.
And cocaine for the other half.
And then whatever the newest one was, or newer-ish one was, that was about like going back in time to stop.
Oh yeah, 2367 or I can't
22 Skidoo, I think is that.
I have a copy of it too, Matt. Doesn't listen to the asshole that we podcast with.
And the other book that I got, I posted a picture of on Facebook that got way more likes than I anticipated anybody reacting to, and it is a children's book from when I was a kid called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs as Told by A. Wolf. And it's...
Yeah, I remember that book. That came out... That was the same time as The Stinky Cheese Man.
Same
guy?
Yeah, same guy. It's a delight. It still holds up. It is still a blast. Movie-wise, I got... probably my favorite documentary of the last couple of years on DVD, the Electric Boogaloo documentary. I've watched it twice since I got it on Christmas, like 2 days ago. Because I just keep wanting to show it to people and just let them see how fucking batshit crazy Canon Films was. And the big thing, the big 90s nostalgia that I got was not 1, not 2, but 3 complete series on DVD. I got the Angry Beavers complete series on DVD. I got Doug, the Nickelodeon Years complete series on DVD. And I got the Earthworm Jim animated series on DVD.
Oh, that's all so fucking awesome.
So, and I'm off all this week from work, so I'm probably going to spend a lot of time watching kids' cartoons.
There's nothing wrong with that, you full-grown, beautiful man, you.
But I think that's all that we've got for this mailbag episode. Thank you guys for checking it out. We're going to be back in the swing of things with a movie. We said we weren't going to tell you what the movies were, but just because it is a newer film, we are going to be discussing The Final Girls, but it's like a half discussion because we don't want to spoil anything for you guys. But you should take the time to try to track down a copy and check it out. It is fairly spoiler-free, our review. We recorded that right before we recorded this, just to show the wizard behind the curtain that is.
We give you a fair warning of when the big spoilers are going to come. And maybe, Matt, if you've got the time to do it, maybe just timestamp those in the description so people...
But yeah, the end of the day, definitely check out the movie The Final Girls over the next week, and then enjoy our little mini review of it. It's
this
worth
is
your time.
The Final Girls, plural. You don't want to watch Final Girl.
Yeah,
Be careful.
You really don't.
All right. But don't forget, you guys can always send us movie suggestions at hmnpodcast@gmail.com, or just send us letters that you want to have read on a future mailbag episode. But that's all I've got. You guys got anything else that you want to give a quick shout out for?
Nope.
No, just keep pulling a Tyler. Jerk us off. Send us some congratulations.
Check out Scott's Gremlins cover on all of the different ways that he's listed already.
listening to the Geekscape Network.